Hi all. Today is the 10th part of my perfume series where I'm actually showing you my entire fragrance collection slash perfume wardrobe and talking about very briefly about what I have in there and why. I did break it up into categories, which is why it's in distinct parts. Each part is kind of covering a specific category, and that's why I would suggest you go to the beginning and start from there, because that would make a little bit more sense. Today we're going to be talking about skin scents. What do I mean by that? Every fragrance, once it's worn down and has spent sufficient amount of time on your skin, is going to turn into a skin scent. That's what they do. But some perfumes, after the initial application, are meant to mimic your skin at its best. And I'm not talking about soapy fragrances, I'm not talking about any of that, but perfumes that are actually settling into my skin. I'm talking about my skin here. Obviously, all of that is subjective. So on my skin, they smell like my skin, but better. So it's like a nude lipstick of fragrances. The very first part of the series was really the introduction, and it covered the categories of fragrances that I have in my perfume wardrobe, why I categorize in that way, and sort of just setting up the little series. Video number 2 is the first dedicated fragrance video to a specific group of perfumes, and that had to do with the powdery scents. So powdery scents right here. Video number 3 had to do with this little row, and it focused on scents that smell best in cold weather. So which fragrances I would wear during winter because they open up the best, specifically when it's cold. Part number 4 had to do with all things to all people, workhorses of my fragrance wardrobe. So a sense that I could just pack with me and go somewhere, and they would cover all my needs for that particular trip. Scents that are easy go-to, scents that if you don't know what to wear, you can always reach for one of those. Part 5 was dedicated to the first half of my evening wear fragrances. Because I had enough to film, because I have too many of them for one video, I did break it up into 2 parts. So number 5 had to do with the first half of them, number 6 had to do with the second half of them. And then we moved to part 7. That was a favorite affordable scents. I call them my cheapy delights. So great budget picks. Part number 8 had to do with florals. So frankly, floral fragrances were in that category. Part number 9 was focusing on fresh scents, which aren't actually my forte. So there are not that many of them there. I could tackle them in one go. So fresh scents were number 9, and today is the last category over here, number 10, skin scents. First, I have this atomizer here. It's a fairly small size of the fragrance, but it's enough for me to get some good wear out of it, and this is Sensuous Nude by Estee Lauder. This is a fragrance I was walking around in circles, trying to evaluate, trying to figure out whether it's something I actually liked or disliked, and each time I would smell it, my opinion would change. Now, I am settling on the fact that I do actually like it. I'm not sure if it's full bottle worthy for me quite yet. I don't think so, but it is one of the skin scents that really impressed me. There's a little earthiness to it, a little coconut shell, that hairy part on the outside of the coconut. It's fairly clean, but then there's something mildly, maybe spicy in it. It evokes the sensation of skin. If you overspray it, obviously you won't get that effect, but if you moderately apply, you get the effect of nude skin, which is sensuous nude. I'm assuming that's what they were going for. I actually think it's a very, very cool formulation and will probably smell very different on different people. So quite an interesting pick. I am happy that I'm trying it. I did not form a final verdict about it. This is pretty new to me, but I will decide on it and see if I'm actually willing to purchase a whole bottle of it to use up later. Next, we have this little gem. I don't have a lot of Hermes representatives in my wardrobe, in my fragrance wardrobe. I've had quite a few of Hermes fragrances in the past, especially I kind of was into the Jardin series, the gardens. I might go back and get some more of that to refresh my memory about it. And Hermes fragrances are normally very interesting and a little bit offbeat. This is Eau de Merveilles. There are a few flankers of this. This is the Eau de Toilette format, not the Eau de Parfum. I might go and get the Eau de Parfum at some point, but this is probably my favorite out of what they offer in terms of flankers. So Eau de Merveilles Eau de Parfum for me is very much a skin scent. There is a certain freshness to it. It's quite uplifting, almost tickles the back of your throat a little bit in a very good way. It's difficult to explain how you can have a good time while the fragrance is tickling the back of your throat. Sounds like allergies, but I mean, it really, really evokes on my skin, for me, the feeling of warm skin. It's very comfortable, it's very cozy and weirdly intimate, because that's kind of what it starts smelling like. I do find skin scents are difficult to describe because, well, you can just say it smells like skin. It's a pretty special little gem. I will be filming a separate video on it, but I do encourage you to go ahead and check it out because it's quite curious, and it's probably not for everyone. I would probably not recommend buying this one. It will smell very different depending on your skin type and depending on your skin chemistry. I do not see this one being like a unanimous across the board sort of scent. It really will depend on whether it sits well on your particular skin. It's true for a lot of scents, but especially for skin scents, because their job is to mix and meld with your skin to create this sensation or illusion of your skin by better sensation. And Eau de Merveilles Eau de Toilette does do that for me. One of my absolute favorites that I was crazy about in the early spring this year, just before the lockdown, I went for some training. I went for some injectables training, and I asked my husband's, and I asked the girlfriend of my brother-in-law, she had to hook up some connections to get me this guy through her whatever connections that she had there. I think her sister worked for the fragrance department in one of the high-end stores of some sort. But anyway, she did hook me up with Musc Ravageur by Frederic Malle, and I was super lucky because the hookup meant that I would also have 20% off. This guy is pricey, very, very expensive, but to me, worth it, unlike some of the other very, very expensive fragrances that I've bought in the past and not necessarily even kept because I don't think they were worth the space that they were in. So Musc Ravageur is not going to be, I discovered that people do feel differently about it. Now, I've heard some people say that for them, that's a bit of a Christmassy scent. For me, something like Coco by Chanel will have that Christmassy feel because of the rum cake association. Or Histoire de Parfum 1899 for me also has that Christmassy feel because it's a gingerbread cookie sort of reference for me. That's how it smells on my skin. Now, Musc Ravageur for some people is just that because there are some spices there. However, with minimal application, for me, I've chosen to categorize it as a skin scent because that's what it smells like for me. There is some kind of a witchery in there that basically melds with my skin to create the best possible skin smell ever. It does have some vanilla, so that really blends everything in, but there's some spices. This is a complicated mix. I'm not sure how it comes out with the notes that it has, how it comes out smelling like it does. It's a mystery for me. It doesn't make any sense. It's interesting that it's called Musc Ravageur because for me, on skin, it does end up smelling like a beautiful, special skin-like musk, but it's not a really musky scent. Like for instance, on a blotter, it really does not smell like what it smells like applied to skin. Frederic Malle had sent me a bunch of small size deluxe samples of their different fragrances, and Musc was one of them. I was really interested in Portrait of a Lady, but I still haven't got my hands on that. I would love to, at least on a sampler, so like I could really wear it in and see if for me that would be something worthwhile. But Musc Ravageur I did get, and I was blown away at the beauty of it. Again, I don't suspect that everybody will have the same experience with this particular one. Skin scents are so tricky. They are so heavily dependent on what kind of skin you have and how the different notes would open up, in which order even. I have not wanted to wear this guy in the summer at all. Skin scents, this particular skin scent for me is a winter skin scent. Again, I think it's gag worthy for me, but it might not work the same for you. And with this price tag, you gotta try it on your skin. There's no way I would recommend for anyone to spend that kind of money blindly ever, especially on a scent that could smell in so many different ways on so many different people. For me, totally worth it, and I can't wait to wear it this winter. Oh, in cold weather. That is just delectable. Lastly, I have this little limited edition Narciso Rodriguez For Her flanker. Not impossible to get these days. It's a very, very interesting scent. Again, you probably can't find it easily. It's from the Musc collection. It's Eau de Parfum Intense from the Musc collection. The bottle itself is just amazing to look at. It looks like mercury. Very, very beautiful. I have this was the first Narciso Rodriguez I've ever purchased, and that's a weird thing to say because it's a limited edition that from way back, and that's a repurchase. This is my second bottle of it, and I can't find it anywhere anymore, so this is the last bottle I will ever have, and chances are they probably won't re-release something similar to that. This introduced me to Narciso Rodriguez as a perfume house that makes musks. This is a skin musk for me. It's a spicy skin musk. Again, the pyramid doesn't really represent what the scent itself is doing, what it's like. I would say pyramid-wise, just disregard it. For me, it's a spicy musk that does not smell the same on the blotter as it does on skin either. I feel like I'm saying that a lot with regards to skin scents. That's what they do. This is not surprising. There is something really sensual and spicy about this musk, and musk and spicy don't normally create a very flattering effect. On the blotter, it smells weird. It does not smell like something you would want to put on your skin, but on skin, it's really, really sexy. It behaves like a very intimate nose to skin, caressing the swerves and curves of your body sort of scent. Not a favorite of my husband's. He does not like it. He doesn't feel the same way about it. He doesn't feel like it's a very intimate fragrance. He can't smell much of it because it just smells like skin to him, like my skin to him. But I can definitely tell the difference. So if you're a subtle kind of bee, you might enjoy this. If you find it somewhere by some weird accident, I think it's worth a try. If you see it online and you're not sure whether you like it, I'm not sure that I would recommend you blind buy it. But it's certainly one of the most interesting and intriguing scents on this entire table, because it's just such a discrepancy between what it smells like on a blotter, what it smells like on me, what it smells like on somebody else. It's a true chameleon. Very interesting scent. Very, very interesting. So that's the last one. So these are all of the perfumes that I have right now. These are all the perfumes that I'm using right now. I have to say that this picture changes, and every couple of years I probably would be persuaded to film an update, because certain things leave, certain things come in, certain things get decluttered, lots of things get used up. I generally use up somewhere between 10 and 15 fragrances in a year. That's kind of been my average over the last few years. Many of these I have repurchased. Many of these I will repurchase going forward in the future. But all of them mean something to me, and all of them are fragrances that I do enjoy using. I try not to keep anything I don't use, which is why the fragrance wardrobe is constantly reimagined and changed. So this year it looks like this, and I think it'd be fun to keep track of how this is changing. I wish for the last 10 years I've been kind of keeping track of how it's changing, and my perfume wardrobe keeps sort of expanding and shrinking. It all depends on what I'm feeling like. If I know that I will not come back to wearing a specific scent, I have no qualms getting rid of it. It's fine with me. Sometimes I'll trade with the other people on the platform who really like fragrances, and I do like doing that, and I think it's a very nice way to also experience other people's choices. If there's something that I don't like, I do like to trade it and try something else, something somebody else doesn't like or got tired of. I hope this was kind of fun for you and you got something out of looking at the fragrances that I have currently at my fingertips. What are your favorite skin scents? That'd be really cool to know, because this is a very nebulous, weird category. What are your favorite skin scents? Have you worn any of the ones that I've talked about? And if so, what did you think of them? Do you also feel like they're skin scents for you as well? I'm getting super tired. My voice is getting froggy. It's time to stop. I've been talking for 10 parts now, and half my day is gone. So I hope you guys are having fun watching this. Good luck. Have a good day, and be careful. Stay safe. Bye.